Check out these black and sport blue Air Jordan 3 Retros. These shoes released in the summer of 2014. Around the same time, Nike announced that they were going to be remastering the Air Jordan line, and they also told us that for a while they were going to be discontinuing one of the most popular models, the Air Jordan 3. Now, the reason they're discontinuing the model is to build up hype around one of their more popular silhouettes, but also Nike and Jordan Brand want to figure out this whole remastering thing before they start putting it on the really, really good shoes. If you notice, the first remastered Jordans, for the most part, are not the most desirable models, and they're not coming in original colorways, with the exception of the white, black, and red Air Jordan 10 with the number 45 on there. But I feel like with this first round of remastered Jordans, they're still sort of trying to figure things out. The reason why I want to go back to this Sport Blue 3 from the days before this new remastering era is because this is one of the shoes that really pointed at the need to remaster the line. Initially, when people started leaking photos of this shoe before it ever came out, sneakerheads were going crazy. People thought this was like a reverse true blue, a blacked out true blue, almost a black cement but with blue accents. This colorway had never been seen before, and it looked really, really good. So we all thought these shoes would sell out, be tough to get a hold of, and would resell for a lot of money. As it happened, this was a general release. Pretty much everyone that wanted a pair was able to get them, and the shoes have really not gone up in value that much. They retailed for $170, and they're selling now for somewhere in the low 200s. Let's have a look at these. It's actually a really nice looking shoe. The problem with it is that Nike did not step up the materials. The leather on the upper is really not good quality. The tumbled nature of the leather just does not hold up next to some of the other threes. Also, there's a lot of flaws, visible flaws on these shoes. It's tough to tell from the light and the iPhone, but there's gashes here, and it almost looks like they took a Sharpie in the factory after the fact and tried to fix it. Something that's common on these Sport Blue 3s is also a very dirty tongue. Do you see this orange stain right here? And it's always on the left shoe. And I'm pretty sure it happened from cramming this little tag in here, maybe from brushing up against it or something like that. But both of my pairs have this orange smudge on here, and I've seen a lot of other people's pairs that have the same orange smudge on there. And it's pretty disappointing. Now, I want to compare these 2014 Sport Blues to the 2011 True Blues and also to the 2011 Black Cement 3s. And of course, I'm not the first person to do this comparison video. I know DJ Hess over at Hess Kicks did a video on this right as the shoes came out. But I really felt the need to compare these Sport Blue 3s with a couple other models from 2011 so that we could show the shoddy quality of these Sport Blues and really the need to remaster the line. But don't get me wrong, Nike's not just concerned about us and the quality of our shoes. They're all about making money. Money, 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 money. And they heard all of us complaining about our shoes. Smudges, messed up Jumpman logos, Sharpies fixing mess ups. And they were like, man, if we're going to be charging a premium price for these shoes, and they even say that the quality of Air Jordans are inspired by the greatest athlete of all time, they had to do something. So it was a good way for them to answer the demands of consumers, step up the quality, but of course, that came with an inflated retail price. And the remastered Jordans are at $190. Who knows, by the time they bring back 3s and remaster those, they'll be at least $200, and we've already had $200 3s with the 88 edition that say Nike Air on the back. Those are the white cement ones. They're very desirable, and they're trading for $600 or $700. But anyway, let's get back to this comparison. And let's start over here with these True Blues, a gorgeous original colorway of the Air Jordan 3. Back in the day, there were 4 OG colors of Air Jordan 3s. Black cement, white cement, fire red, and true blue. And this true blue shoe ushered in an era of blue Air Jordans. Now, when the Air Jordan 1 originally came out in '85, Nike released a whole bunch of different colors. But then when the 2 came out, they were mainly white and red, highs and lows, but they didn't go blue. And then with the 3, we got true blue. The 4 was followed up with military blue. The 5, we saw grapes. The 6s, we saw sport blues, but really after the 3 came out in blue, Nike started retroing and making Air Jordans in blue. Pretty cool. Now these shoes have been retroed in 2002. Michael actually wore them back in the day when he came back and played with the Wizards. They were also retroed internationally in 2009, and this pair is from 2011. These retailed for $150. When you look at them, the quality is on point. The leather is beautiful. It's real nice and tumbled. There's not a lot of the same flaws in the sport blue pair. By the way, notice that there's elephant print up here. This is the only one of the original Air Jordan 3s to feature elephant print going around the lace holes in addition to at the heel and at the toe of the shoe. Quick little history lesson. We know that the Air Jordan 3 is the first Jordan with elephant print. It's also the first one with a visible air window. It's also the first one with a Jumpman logo. It's the first Jordan designed by Tinker Hatfield and the first Jordan where Michael Jordan participated in the design of the shoe. This is such an iconic shoe, and to many sneakerheads, the Air Jordan 3 is the most popular and the coolest of all of the different Air Jordans. From this pair right here, let's have a look at another 2011 pair, the Black Cements. These shoes came out on Black Friday, and this was like just before the recent hype and craze of the era that we're living in now. You won't believe it, but actually when this shoe came out, I was able to drive around LA to different Nike stores and Foot Lockers, and I bought 12 pairs for retail. They didn't sell out right away. Like I was able to go here and buy one, here and buy two. Some of the stores would only let each person buy one, so I'd grab a friend or somebody else in line or somebody's whatever and say, hey, can you come in here, and offer $20 or $10, and they'd buy a pair for me. So maybe I didn't pay retail for all of them because I had to tip a few people here or there. But it's crazy to think that when this shoe came out just a few years ago, I was able to cop 12 of them. The True Blues, I was able to buy 6 pairs at retail. The Sport Blues, I was able to only get 2. Nike's made it very difficult for us to get our hands on these cool Air Jordan retros. This shoe is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. I mean, look at the quality and craftsmanship. This shoe's been retroed a bunch of times. First in '94, again in 2001. Both of those models would say Nike Air on the back instead of the Jumpman. These shoes also came out as part of the Collezione pack in 2008. They were $310 then, and they were paired up with a pair of 20s. And then, of course, there's this pair from 2011. They're going to retro this again and put Nike Air on the back. I'm sure they will once they figure out this whole remastered thing, and they're going to be so popular. I want to show another crazy detail about these shoes. Check out the Jumpman logo. Look, you can actually see like Michael Jordan's butt. It's crazy, but like the way that his legs come together here, this leg sort of has the silhouette of his butt on there. And that just looks crazy, especially when you compare it to the newer ones right here. It's more seamless. Here, let me hold them up next to one another. Just a small little detail right there. But look at how his legs come together on the black and cement pair versus the sport blue pair. All sorts of little details. And the Jumpman is one of the things that Nike is focusing on remastering. Just for fun, let's break out these Legend Blue 4s. And you can look at the Jumpman and you can see that they removed that extra stitching that they had on these 2011 pairs. Also, the 2011 pairs did not include this little orange hang tag thing right here, which probably explains why the tongues aren't messed up. But getting back to these sport blues, the leather is not on par. When you compare the leather with this pair to the leather with this pair, it's just not the same. The material on the tongue is a nice leather on this pair, a nice leather over here on this pair. I don't know what material this is. It's like suede, but not really. There's also these perforations in here in the tongue for breathability. Very half-ass on the perforations on this model. It's like Nike recently realized what shoes are popular, decided to just crank them out over and over, mix up the colorways, but they didn't slow it down and make sure that the quality of the shoes was really on point, was really inspired by Michael Jordan, the greatest athlete of all time, or that the quality justified the high price points. These shoes are reselling for so much money. The True Blues are in the 400s. The black and cements are in the 600s. Really, the whole remastering thing was about Nike raising the prices so that they could get some of that money that's being spent on shoes in the secondary market. And the whole justification for it was to remaster the line. But honestly, the remastered Air Jordans are not up to par just yet.